Hola amigos, Javier here for Hum of the Earth, signing in from just outside Chile Chico, the last little town in Chile that is right against the Argentinian border, where we will cross and begin bicycling towards the world famous Ruta 40, Route 40, which is one of the longest routes in the world. We'll be doing the southern half, doing the Argentinian side of Patagonia, and stopping by in El Chalten and El Calafate. And what will be kind of different for me, or for part of the journey, I'm made a new friend on the boat to Chile Chico, Chloe from France.
That's me.
She just happened to be cycling the same way that I was, so we're gonna do a little bit of team cycling here, and yeah, pretty excited. Should be pretty beautiful. So in my typical fashion, I got a flat right away. Tried to fix it. The next one, inner tube that I put in was broken. I broke it putting it in. Several other problems, but Chloe is still here somehow. So guess we'll get to do a little bit of cycling today, maybe cross the border. So I've been stamped out of Chile a lot faster than getting stamped in onto the Argentinian side. And while we're getting groceries, I got yet another flat. Really not my day. So after poorly reinstalling another inner tube and putting on my tire backwards and not properly seated, so with a bump, we managed to finally make it out of the border town of Los Antigos and find a pretty good camp spot where we got some sleep, and before that ate, and this morning had some coffee. So hopefully a more productive day today. The environment changes. And we are leaving the town of Puerto Moreno, which was about 50 kilometers from where we started. We got some supplies, spent the better part of an hour looking for inner tubes with no success, a few other things. Now we begin our journey on the desolate Ruta 40. Should be fun. Nothing for miles. So, surprisingly, even though there's nothing to really protect or reasons to prevent people from entering, there's barbed wire fence or electric fence pretty much everywhere along Ruta 40, at least the part that we just bicycled. But we did manage to find a spot that provides some coverage here. Should do the job. Time for a fancy meal from the chef. your thoughts for today?
I think we have a long way to go, I think.
That's right. Long ways right. We have about 80 something kilometers to the next town, Bajo Caracoles, where we will hopefully make it so we can eat some food and continue the trip and not starve. That would be fun.
Should be. Especially the eating part.
Yeah. Really digging the landscapes. Kinda otherworldly at times. So we've made it to Baja Caracoles. We found a hotel slash restaurant slash store, and the prices were outrageous. Price of a room for a meal. This hostel is closed. We found camping Juan Carlos, but we can't find Juan Carlos. For the moment, I am charging my phone, staying sheltered from the rain and the cold, and Chloe is enjoying the fact that it smells like a stable because you like horses. So there's some evidence that suggests that maybe Juan Carlos is was having a good time and maybe had to go for a nap. He left a whole lot of meat on the barbecue. But we don't really have other amazing options right now.
There's also an active dog gang in the city, so we're gonna be careful there.
Yes. We saw an Overlander review that said, beware, there's an active dog gang here. So I've already seen some dogs around, but they don't seem that active. Maybe it's because of the rain. Maybe at night they're more active. So we got invited by Juan Carlos's friends slash renovators into this house, where they started boiling hot water for us because that's what Argentinians do, but we don't really have tea, we're not Argentinian. Maybe that's the meat that we saw in the barbecue earlier. Some nice ostrich chops. So we met up with Juan Carlos, and he has graced us with these luxurious digs here, with even a heater and some beds and chairs, and yeah, pretty cool. And at the medical center where he works slash lives, we're going to go there for a hot shower, Wi-Fi, and some food.
Believe that's a glacier. Good morning. Had some pretty good sleep in a real bed, or foam bed. We ended up having dinner with Juan Carlos. The wine and leftover barbecue was not his, from the people working on his house. Yeah, then we listened to some really loud techno music on his TV and his huge speakers, which are all inside the medical center, which is kind of fun. So right now we're just packing up, and Juan has invited us for coffee and maybe even some bread before we get started on another long day on the road.
El cerro ese que está ahí.
Okay. Gracias, Juan Carlos. And for breakfast, more guanaco pasta. Not complaining. Pretty delicious. And we've stocked up at the expensive store, and we'll soon be ready for an adventurous day out on Ruta 40, where we have to do at least 100 kilometers and then another 100 kilometers the next day to get to the next town of Gobernador Gregore. So that's 230 kilometers or so that we'll have to do before our next resupply. Bye bye, Bajo Caracoles.
So it's 11:40. Finally getting going. We were partying hard with Juan last night. So Chloe, what do you think our chances are of reaching our goal of 110 kilometers?
Depends on the amount of pasta de mani that we have during the day.
Which is peanut butter. I think we have enough.
We might get it like before sunset. I'm not sure actually.
Yeah, maybe not, but I think we won't be partying with Juan tonight, so we'll probably go to bed earlier, get up earlier. So, but it's supposed to be downhill today, so you never know. last few hours, but we still have pasta.
Good.
Sounds like a plan. Good old coffee.
Less than half the normal speed. That is because of the intense headwind that I'm sure you're hearing. But the road will soon take a left going eastward, so hopefully this headwind will turn into a side wind, which is not as bad. But still looks like it would be very difficult to make it to the town of Gobernau Gregor or something, which would be 140 kilometers for the day. But I didn't know this, but it was actually revealed to us that, revealed to me rather, that we do actually have enough pasta for a meal tomorrow. But so we would survive if we don't make it, but I do not really have food for breakfast today. I have a few crackers that I can eat throughout the day. So here is Parc Nacional Porrito Moreno, where you can go see some glaciers. But unfortunately, we do not have enough food to do that, so that is not an option. But apparently there is a hotel here at some point, which I've heard is expensive, but maybe I will be able to negotiate to have them quickly cook 2 eggs or something for a not ridiculous price. We shall see. Wind's in my sails now, and that looks like it's the hotel. Breakfast of Kings, and we have Wi-Fi, so Chloe's talking to her mom. Watching some handball, which we were debating if that was a real sport. I didn't believe Chloe, but it turns out it's playing on the TV here, so. That was an awesome super desayuno americano. We even had cereal and fruit with that, as well as coffee. And it's been tailwind ever since. And it's even slightly downhill all the way to Gobernau Gregores. So things went from a pessimistic outlook of not making it there to we'll probably be making it there and be able to have a nice meal, relax, and do some shopping, and then get out of town a little bit to camp, if everything goes well. But it's hard to imagine that it wouldn't. We're cruising and the skies are blue. So we've made it 110 out of the 140 that we were looking to hit today. But we have pasta, like I mentioned, and we have coffee tomorrow.
to bike to the town of Gregorius, so should be good.
So we just met an Ethiopian man who's attempting to run from Ushuaia, which is the lowest city in the world at the very southern tip of Argentina, to Alaska. And as a present for our new friendship, he gave us this dog, which I'm not sure what we're gonna do with the dog yet.
I have no idea.
But maybe we can pass along this gift in town. Should be arriving to Gouverneur Gregores in under 5K. Pretty excited for some food. It's gonna be our last stop for groceries in a while. I think we might have both beat our grocery grand score records. Our somewhat hidden camp spot. Cheers to that. So I was rolling up the bottom part of my tent, and out of nowhere, this guy, little scorpion, unnerves himself from the dirt and starts crawling towards my shoe. First time seeing a scorpion. Goes to show, it can be cold in the desert, but you're not alone. So the Ruta 40, it's been an absolute pleasure. We've been cruising hundreds of freshly paved roads, and now gravel for the next 70. Well, it'll be a change of pace for sure. Chloe's leaving me in the dust with her bigger tires. It's kind of odd that there's only 70 kilometers of unpaved road on the Ruta 40, at least for the southern portion. Kind of like they paved the whole thing. They're like, 70 kilometers left. Good enough, boys. You're a natural. We got some water from the road crew. Great success. We were able to finish the gravel section, which was 70 kilometers long, and we did 20 kilometers before that. It's 9 kilometers a day. So, pretty good effort. Team's pretty happy about it. So, another day, another night in the desert. And then we will head into Tres Lagos for brunch tomorrow. Welcome to the striving metropolis of Tres Lagos, which means 3 lakes. Yet to see one of them, but that is not what we're looking for. Looking to resupply. You know what he wants.
I think I do, but maybe he wants food even more. This not that good.
Last ride for Team Patagonia.
Yay!
So, what are your thoughts on the disbandment? You're fine with that?
I can't find any pun.
Oh.
Yeah, that's sad. That was a good ride.
It was a pretty good ride. Bye! And this is where the road turns off to El Chaltén. Fortunately, Chloe has a ride to catch in Ushuaia, and by a ride I mean a plane ride. So she does not have time for the detour that is El Chaltén. She will be going to Calafate and then bicycling through Tierra del Fuego, which should be pretty windy and rainy. So best of luck to her on our way to Ushuaia, the lowest city in the world. And with that, Team Patagonia has been disbanded, but you do not have to say bye to Chloe if you don't want to. She is actually chronicling her adventures on her blog. I will be writing the name of the blog right here, as well as putting a link to the blog in the description. So her blog will be in the description, as well as I will be mentioning her blog once more at the end of this video, because this video is not over. I'm still heading to the world famous hiking destination of El Chaltén, which I'm pretty excited for. Definitely going to be missing Chloe. Pretty cool person with a pretty silly sense of humor. So I might not be necessarily missing her puns, but as a person, definitely. We had a really it would be that easy to find someone compatible in terms of just distance, per day bicycling, and just you know, just general sense of humor and vibe and atmosphere. But riding with Chloe was a lot of fun, and she's very smart and helpful, so it was really enjoyable to team up with her. And once she reaches Ushuaia, she will be heading to back home to France, and then bicycling through Europe and Asia. At least that is our plan for the moment. So you never know. We might be joining forces again in the future. Despite the wind, I believe I have made it to El Chalten. Time to find a place to stay. Done deal. So I booked myself into the Condor de los Andes backpacker hostel. Not an endorsement, just seemed to have everything I wanted, which is good places to work on videos around the beds. Obviously hot water, Wi-Fi, and free breakfast for the price of about $13 US, so seemed like a pretty good deal. Enough time to make a video and research a little bit more what I want to be doing hiking wise here in El Chalten, which is maybe the most popular hiking spot in Argentina. Actually, probably is the most popular hiking spot in Argentina. I was thinking maybe Torres del Paine, but that's actually in Chile, which will be where I'll be heading to next in my next video of bicycling. But before that video will be a full video of a hike that I will do, perhaps a hike to a lake, which will give a better view of Cerro Fitzroy, which we're looking at right now, those two peaks there, or a hike to Cerro de la Torre, which is Tower Mountain in English. Those are the two kind of most popular hikes to do here in El Chalten, so I'll most likely be doing one of those, but that could change after my research if something strikes my fancy. So I hope you've enjoyed this journey through the southern part of Argentinian Patagonia. I definitely really enjoyed the lunar-esque landscapes. Describe them to me before I came here. I would have not really been that interested, but I really actually enjoyed them. Kind of had a meditative quality to them and just otherworldly, like I mentioned. And it was really cool to tour with Chloe. Like I mentioned earlier, Chloe has a blog of her own, which I will be writing on video here, and once again it is in the link to the description. And she writes quite well, so it's usually a pretty good read. And she's also, like I mentioned, going to some pretty interesting places, especially for a solo female cyclotourist. So it should be some pretty interesting adventure reads, especially if you're a woman. It could even be inspiring to read, so definitely check out her blog. So if you're new to the channel, I got here by previously doing the northern part of Patagonia in Chile, the famous Carretera Austral, and that was a really cool video of a really beautiful part of the world. Definitely recommend you check out. That was another adventure. A lot of fun camping. And I was in Patagonia as part of my journey bicycling from Canada to Argentina and beyond. And if you'd like to see an interactive map of everywhere that I went and everything that I did on this adventure, I have that available over on my website, followthehumoftheearth.com, where you can click on the different locations and see the blog posts and videos I've made of those places. And if you'd like to follow my continuing adventures, you can do so by subscribing to my YouTube channel by clicking on the red button below the video. Hope you guys enjoyed. Have a good